आपने आपकी इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी कब से शुरू की थी?
I'll tell you, I've never said this before. I have never invested in a stock in my life. मैं कहूँगी आप अपना 20% हर साल SIP पे डालो and try to take that 20% number up as much as you can. I have gone from a point where I save virtually nothing of my post-tax salary to probably now 90% of my post-tax salary goes to an SIP.
90%?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not start my SIP until my 25th birthday.
For my son, we started it when he was 3 or 4 months old. My husband and I both said we'd put 50,000 each. And now
Wow.
we've increased that amount. तो उसका तो देखते देखते कॉर्पस पता नहीं कहाँ चला गया. आजकल IC पोर्टफोलियोज जहाँ 110 म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम होते हैं.
110? Why do people do that? Diversification? मतलब
There's no diversification.
हाँ,
That diversification
so.
theory is nonsense. My own portfolio on average has 9 to 10 schemes. I always tell people जो मेरे से stock tip पूछते हैं, the stock tip for the decade is buy India. India is a great stock.
Like if someone gives you $1 million today, where would you invest or what would you do?
हाँ.
Hi ma'am, welcome to Conversation with Kushal. कैसे हो आप?
Very well, very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. आपको बहुत सारे podcast request आते हो गया, I assume, and you said yes, that means a lot.
Yes.
So thank you so much for doing this.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you have to ask.
Yes, perfect. So let's begin this podcast. So basically, my usual podcast themes are related to money, and it's more focused on how can a young person who has just started his career make good amount of money in markets or stocks or mutual funds, etc. And investing and compounding का क्या importance होता है. Let's begin from your journey as well. We have studied your journey. You were in UPenn, then of course you have like stayed in a lot of different countries as well. But what was the first time कि आपने money success taste किया, and how much was the amount?
Money success. So, ये interesting question है. See, because I grew up in a very normal background with money. So, we grew up in a very upper middle class life. I think money, these things are always relative. You know, you can feel rich, you can feel poor with the same amount of money. आप compare किसके साथ करते हो, वो depend करता है. तो हम लोग मेरे हिसाब से काफ़ी middle class थे. And I started earning for the first time when I went to US to study. तो मैं जब यूपेन में थी तो मुझे सेकेंड ईयर में सबसे पहले इंटर्नशिप मिली थी. एंड वो इंटर्नशिप का मंथली स्टाइपेंड एट दैट पॉइंट आई थिंक $5,000. Now I was a student who went to UPenn. Many kids who go to UPenn are very rich. But I was a student who went on full financial aid. I was lucky मुझे बहुत सारे पैसे मिल गए. And so I lived the poor student life where we didn't buy books. We were like poor students. But the time when I heard कि यार मुझे 5,000 रुपये, when I got the job I was excited. Then I heard 5,000 रुपये की stipend है. And I was so excited, I called my parents from a hotel in Seattle. उस टाइम international calls बहुत महंगे थे. There was no WhatsApp call. I actually spoke to them for 5-7 minutes. My father couldn't believe I was earning this kind of money. And I probably spent $100 on that call. Out of excitement. But that was like my first moment of, okay, I'm finally earning some money.
And what was that internship about?
I was a product manager at Microsoft. और उस टाइम सेकेंड ईयर स्टूडेंट्स को इंटर्नशिप्स कम ही मिलती थी. तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में इंटर्नशिप मिलना एक्चुअली काफ़ी बड़ी बात मानी जाती थी. एंड 10 हफ्ते की इंटर्नशिप थी. सो आई मेड सम $11,000-12,000 प्लस वो हाउसिंग का खर्चा देते थे. My head, it was quite amazing.
Right. At Wharton, आपने एक साइड रेस्टोरेंट बिजनेस भी कुछ शुरू किया था. एंड वहाँ से आपके ये सब जो थियरी है, मैंगो मिलियनेयर, दाल चावल, देन चटनी एंड पिकल एंड ऑल, सो ये वहाँ से ही मतलब इंस्पायर्ड हुए क्या ये सारे जो थियरीज है?
I was telling someone, I think जो हमारी घर की समझ है, जो लेसन्स हमने घरों में सीखे हैं, किचन में सीखे हैं, जो मम्मियों ने सिखाए हैं, वो बिज़नेस के बारे में, निवेश के बारे में काफ़ी अच्छी चीज़ें टीच करते हैं. एंड आई थिंक फूड इज़ अ वेरी यूनिवर्सल एनालॉजी. दाल चावल ऐसी चीज़ है, आप चाहे गुजरात से आएँ या आप चाहे बंगाल से आएँ या साउथ से आएँ या नॉर्थ से आएँ, आपकी दाल चावल की रिलेटेबिलिटी है. तो आई थिंक खाना बहुत डिवाइड्स ब्रिज करता है. तो मे बी इट इज़ कमिंग फ्रॉम देयर. बट यस, आई डिड रन अ रेस्टोरेंट इन कॉलेज. तो मुझे अभी भी खाना बनाने का शौक है.
सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द मीनिंग ऑफ मैंगो मिलियनेयर, और ये क्या क्या थियरीज है ये सारे?
मैं साइड हिंदुस्तान में जो आम जनता है उसको वॉरेन बफेट नहीं बनना, उसको ग्रैंड ट्रेडर नहीं बनना. वो चाहता है कि जिस पैसे को कमाने के लिए वो बहुत मेहनत करता है या करती है, उससे उसकी लाइफ बेटर हो जाए. That is the idea, that everyone aspires to become a mango millionaire in some way. And वो बहुत अलग हैं. The rich of the old usually came from a big business family, went to elite educational institutions, were in the big cities of India. आज का जो मैंगो मिलियनर है हिंदुस्तान का, वो कहीं से भी आ सकता है, छोटे छोटे शहरों से आ सकता है. Doesn't have to be a business person, can be a working professional with ESOPs, wants to spend their money, wants to take risk in equity. So the book is a tribute to Mango Millionaires, but that's where the phrase came from, and it was not found on ChatGPT.
Yeah. इसमें बुक के बारे में बताओ, क्या exactly, what is the book about, and who exactly, like how will it benefit the audience?
So the book is not for super intelligent finance people. मैं ये कहती हूँ सबसे पहले. The book is for Mango people. It is for someone like my mom, जो कि एक बहुत educated lady है, लेकिन निवेश करने से घबराती हैं. उनको लगता है उनके लिए बहुत टेक्निकल है, इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं है. तो ऐसे लोगों के लिए है जो आप गिफ्ट कर सकते हैं कि आप इसको पढ़ो, हम बेसिक बातें आपको सिंपल भाषा में समझाएंगे, एंड बाय द एंड आपको इतनी कॉन्फिडेंस होनी चाहिए कि आप शुरुआत कर लो.
तो इज इट मोर अबाउट म्यूचुअल फंड्स और इट्स
नहीं, बिकॉज अ कंप्लीट बुक ऑन पर्सनल फाइनेंस cannot be only about mutual funds. See, mutual funds एक जरिया है निवेश करने का, बट म्यूचुअल फंड्स चूज करने से पहले, इवन दो आई एम पेड टू मार्केट म्यूचुअल फंड्स, आपको फाइनेंस एजुकेशन होनी चाहिए. यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड पैसा क्या होता है, रिस्क क्या होती है, डरते क्यों हैं हम पैसे से, हमारे लिए कितना रिटर्न कमाना सही है या नहीं है, रियल एस्टेट की क्या अच्छी बातें होती हैं, क्या प्रॉब्लमेटिक बातें होती हैं. तो पहले तो आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट के फाउंडेशन सीखने पड़ेंगे. इट इज़ लाइक आप सीधा स्विमिंग पे बुक तो नहीं छाप सकते, पहले तो आपको अपनी बॉडी स्ट्रेंथन करनी पड़ेगी. तो वी वांट टू स्ट्रेंथन योर बेसिक इन्वेस्टमेंट का जो कोर होता है, फिर बात करेंगे.
राइट. और आई थिंक ऐसी मतलब कोई बुक नहीं है जो एकदम ऐसे रिलेटेबल फैक्टर में पर्सनल फाइनेंस के बारे में बात करती है.
कम है, ऑनेस्टली कम है, इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कम है. बिहेवियरल फाइनेंस का लोग बहुत ज्ञान देते हैं, मैं वो ज़्यादा देना भी नहीं चाहती, बिकॉज मैं लोगों का बिहेवियर नहीं क्रिटिसाइज करना चाहती. सरल तरीके से लोगों को एक आई थिंक व्हाट जो लिमिटलेस के साथ किया था, जो मेरी पहली किताब थी, इट वाज लाइफ एडवाइस फॉर एन इंडियन पैकेज इन वेरी सिंपल स्टोरीज. वो ही पैसे के साथ करना चाहते हैं.
आपने आपकी इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी कब से शुरू की थी?
Later than I would have liked. So as I said, I started earning at 19, 20 internships. Full time I started earning at 21, 22. I think 2006-7 में my then boyfriend, now husband, said कि अब हमें थोड़ा इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू कर देना चाहिए. एंड यूएस में 401k तो कटता है, विच इज़ लाइक योर पेंशन अकाउंट, बट बाकी हमने तब इक्विटी फंड्स के ज़रिए निवेश करना शुरू किया. अनफॉर्चुनेटली शुरुआत 2007 में की.
ओके. एंड ये बेसिकली आपने what proportion did you start investing, and ये percentage proportion कैसे?
I was really dumb. पहले तो मैंने कुछ नहीं किया था. I had all the money in the savings account. Then I said, let me invest all of it. So then I got excited. And it was 100% equity. It was a totally dumb idea because, you know, one, I was dating / now married to someone who was also in the same profession. And what people don't realize about finance people is कि हमारा profession बहुत risky profession है. जब market अच्छा होता है ना, तो हमारे फंड्स भी अच्छा करते हैं, हमारी NAV भी बढ़ती है, हमारे बोनस भी बढ़ते हैं, हमारे ESOP भी बढ़ते हैं. जब मार्केट उल्टा होता है ना, तो ये सब उल्टा होता है. सो वी कैरी नेचुरली अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्क इन आवर प्रोफेशन. सो एक्चुअली एट दैट पॉइंट आई शुड हैव बीन वेरी कंजर्वेटिव, और मेरा इरादा इंडिया वापस आने का था. एंड सो आई नीडेड द कैपिटल in 2009 when I came back to start a PMS business, and unfortunately I had to redeem it at a very big loss. So it was my greatest investment learning.
Oh, is it? You lost
So we redeemed the capital at 40 because आपको पता है 2007 के बाद मार्केट 50% गिरा 2008 में. It came back in 2009. But we didn't have contingency money. And see, if you remember, to start a PMS in India, पहले minimum 50 lakh होता था. When I moved to India, suddenly the minimum went from 50 lakhs to 2 crores. So we had to fund that. So it was really crazy.
Got it. How did you cope up with that? Like, was it a setback for you?
It was because, you know, I had, I think about 75 to 80 lakhs of savings. So I had thought कि मैं 13-14 lakh कंपनी में लगा दूंगी. There were 3 partners, so 50 lakh का capital divided by 3, and I have 40-50 lakhs. I can live on and all that. Suddenly I realized I had to put 67 lakhs of capital in. My bank account literally had a few lakhs. left. And Bombay बहुत महंगा शहर है.
Yeah.
So I think the first few years of entrepreneurship were very hard.
And then how did the turning point happen? What was the tipping point?
So actually business became better. You know, we started by managing सिर्फ 25 लाख का हम कैपिटल मैनेज करते थे. 2 करोड़ हो गया, 10 हो गया, 100 हो गया, 200 हो गया. Then we sold the business to Edelweiss, made some money as entrepreneurs. Obviously started getting larger compensation, and then gradually the turnaround started.
Right. And when was this? Like, when did Edelweiss acquire?
2014.
Okay.
तो 4-5 साल हो गए थे इंडिया में. So I think like 2009 to 11 was a very big struggle.
What was your best and worst investment? Would that money that you lost would be the worst investment?
Yeah. I mean, that was the worst bit of investing I have ever done. I think after that मैं काफी sensible हो गई हूँ. My best investment is actually not a financial investment. It is the money I spend on my UPenn education. And मैं हमेशा young लोगों को कहती हूँ that even today, like if you ask me the asset class that will generate the highest returns for me, you will expect that Radhika will say equity. And I will not say equity.
You will say talent.
I will say my own talent. I will say my time and talent. Because I think the wealth I can create from my time and talent and energy in this India is much larger than 15% CAGR a year.
So, if a young investor wants to start investing, what would you advise? जैसे 21-year-old है कोई, ठीक है, सैलरी चालू है अभी, he is not married and मतलब 21 years का है, फर्स्ट सैलरी आ गया, assume कि 6 lakhs per annum मान के चलते हैं, 50,000 per month है, this is pre-tax. तो अभी what would you advise कि इनके लिए अगर इन्वेस्टिंग शुरू करना है तो क्या अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, कौन से एसेट क्लासेस में करना चाहिए, और हाउ शुड दे बिगिन देयर इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी, इफ वी कैन जस्ट ब्रेक इट डाउन.
ओके, तो 50,000 रुपए पर मंथ कमाता है, मे बी 45,000 आफ्टर टैक्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली. ऑफ दैट 45,000 व्हिच इज योर पोस्ट टैक्स इनकम, आप एक टारगेट बना लो कि मैं इतना पर मंथ इन्वेस्ट कर दूंगा और उसके जरिए आप एक SIP करो. आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी क्रिटिकल. नाउ व्हाट इज दैट टारगेट? I would say it should be a minimum of 20%. तो अगर आप 45,000 कमा रहे हो, आप 9-10 हज़ार बचाने की कोशिश करो. अगर आपसे वो नहीं होता तो आप मायूस मत हो, आप कम से कम 5,000 बचाने की कोशिश करो. बट टू पुट अ नंबर इन द सैंड सेइंग कि ऑफ माई पोस्ट टैक्स सैलरी मैं इतना SIP के ज़रिए डालूंगी, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. एंड आई टेल यू व्हाई SIP. See, tax, when your salary is 50,000, you can't avoid paying 5,000 of tax if you are salaried. Why? Because it is deducted at source. SIP is also like investment deducted at source. If you just decided कि मेरा SIP में तो जाना ही है, तो वो होता रहेगा और आपकी आदत बन जाएगी निवेश की. Now, if your salary goes from 50,000 next year to 60,000, I hope you get an increment. आपकी 20% सैलरी बढ़ी, मैं कहूँगी आप अपना 20% हर साल SIP पे टॉप अप करो. And try to take that 20% number up as much as you can. I have gone from a point where I saved virtually nothing of my post-tax salary to 10% to 20% to probably now 90% of my post-tax salary goes to an SIP.
90%?
Yeah.
Wow.
About 90% of my post-tax salary is hanging out in SIP. So
wow.
I have, people show off the size of their real estate portfolios. I have a very large monthly SIP allocation.
I think अभी वो trend change हो जाएगा.
And every May I reset that. By the way, I think the trend should change. I think people in like Delhi should go off and show कि मेरी 10 लाख की SIP book है, मेरी 5 लाख की SIP book है. I think that the SIP book size should become a status symbol.
I interviewed one very smart and like very good mutual fund distributor. His name is Gajendra Kothari.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He mentioned that he started with a 10,000 rupees per month SIP in 2010, and now he's doing a rupees 30 lakhs per month SIP. And he was like transparent enough to show his entire mutual fund portfolio, like how it has grown from nothing to 40 to 43 CR right now, and how he plans to scale this up. But tabhi I realized that the power of SIP and the power of investing is so much that, I mean, despite coming from a CFA background, I did not start my SIP until my 25th birthday. I turned 25 5 months back, and abhi bas maine shuru kiya. I feel so bad
for my son, we started it when he was 3 or 4 months old.
Wow.
So we started, I think, my husband and I both said we'd put 50,000 each. So we started a month, a 1 lakh SIP for him. And now increase that amount. तो उसका तो देखते देखते कॉर्पस पता नहीं कहाँ चला गया. And he's only 2 years old. When you think of your own self, you think 5-year horizon. You will take little more risk with that. So like my son's portfolio in bull markets, like last year, my son outperformed. He typically out. And one print article put in headline about how a 2-year-old outperformed an asset management CEO. But actually, it should be the case because the 2-year-old has more time. So the 2-year-old is sitting in US tech funds, small cap funds, and like large and mid cap funds versus the mother has some BAF and all of that. So the 2-year-old generally is beating me. He's kegering much more than me.
कितना के करे?
Oh God, I won't remember, but you can calculate now. I think he was up 50-60% last year, maybe more.
Wow.
So, but yeah, we started this SIP for him, and I always tell parents who think this US education and foreign education unaffordable है, I'm like, तुम SIP शुरू कर दो, तुम बैक कैलकुलेट कर लो कि तुम्हें कितना अमाउंट चाहिए होगा और जितना हो सके उसके नाम पे डाल दो.
This is primarily for the education, like
For the foreign,
funding,
yeah, for the higher education. Because higher education is expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
Higher education, even in India, I mean, I was at IIM Ahmedabad for a talk last month. Even in India, higher education is expensive. 20-30 लाख का खर्चा तो लोकल इंस्टीट्यूशन में आ जाता है आपका. अब वो 20-30 लाख अभी, when the child is 16, वो 20-30 लाख या 2 करोड़ सुन के बहुत भारी नंबर लगता है. But if you start planning from it when you are younger, तो बिल्कुल भारी नंबर नहीं लगता.
I think education has become like, I won't call it as an expense, of course, but it has become like one of the highest in investing or highest kind of a spend for a parent.
It is, and there is a fundamentally philosophical belief in India कि पढ़ाई ही वो सीढ़ी है, वो जरिया है जिससे आदमी और तरक्की करते हैं. आई थिंक ये इंडिया की, हिंदुस्तान की एक बहुत कोर बिलीफ है. Like my father was very lower middle class. Getting into IAS was game changing for him. तो उनके लिए वो एक टाइम पे कोचिंग क्लास होती थी, राव स्टडी सर्कल. उसकी जो भी फी थी उनके लिए बहुत बड़ी थी. But it was a very big thing. पढ़ाई सक्सेस के लिए, कामयाबी के लिए एक गेटवे, एक सीढ़ी मानी जाती है इंडिया में. सिर्फ अकेली सीढ़ी नहीं है. आज आई बिलीव यू कैन बी सक्सेसफुल इन मेनी अदर फील्ड्स, बट बहुत प्रिडिक्टेबल सीढ़ी है. तो इसलिए इट इज़ वन ऑफ, एंड सी पढ़ाई में आई थिंक एजुकेशन हैज़ ऑल्सो इवॉल्व्ड इन इंडिया. सो वी ऑलवेज फील कि यार जो मुझे पढ़ाई मिली थी ना, उससे ज़्यादा मेरे बच्चे को मिले. दैट्स I mean, so I didn't go to school in Bombay, but my husband went to school in Bombay, and he went to, one of the schools here. It was a good school. It was not an international school. But he is very keen that his son, when we are now going to see schools in Bombay, he will see facilities. So मैं इतना नहीं देखती because I went to overseas schools. But he's like, नहीं यार, I didn't get any infrastructure. I didn't get this. My son has to get a little bit better. And I think every parent thinks like that. I remember when I got into UPenn, I got into another college which was like slightly lower, where my father would have to pay no money. So this $15,000 also would not be there. And I said, Papa, I'd very happily go there. मेरे लिए तो US जाना है बहुत. He said, नहीं, पढ़ाई में compromise नहीं करेंगे. जो जहाँ तुझे मिला है उसमें से हम best choose करेंगे. I think that is every Indian parent's mindset.
Correct. Education is like a passport to the future.
It's a passport to the future. It's the last thing you compromise.
Right, absolutely. Coming back to the mutual fund topic of investing again. So आपने बताया कि 9,000 to 10,000 rupees invest वगैरह करना चाहिए. अभी इस 9-10,000 को ब्रेक करते हैं.
Yeah.
तो 9-10,000 है तो कैसे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, in which asset class, and क्या करना चाहिए, like how can we start investing?
Okay. See, you are the person's 21, 22,
Yeah.
we are assuming. Let's do a little bit of dal chawal on this. I'm going to give you just 2 alternatives because मैं confuse नहीं करना चाहता.
हाँ.
या तो आप बहुत अग्रेसिव थोड़े से इन्वेस्टर हो, या आप कंजर्वेटिव हो, मॉडरेट हो. ठीक है. आप अग्रेसिव हो, मैं आपको एक फंड चूज करती हूँ. आप एक इंडेक्स फंड में इन्वेस्ट कर दीजिए, लार्ज एंड मिड कैप 250 इंडेक्स फंड. ये क्या है? ये इंडिया की टॉप 250 कंपनीज में आपको एक्सपोजर दे देगा. अगर आप सिर्फ यही करो अगले 15 साल, यू विल मेक लॉट ऑफ मनी. Now you can, so this is your dal chawal. Now you can add as much pickle, chutney, papad on this whole exercise as you want. But if you just buy the Indian stock market represented by top 250 companies of India in a basic fund, wohi kafi hai. So my starting lesson to someone who earns 6 lakh rupees a year is 10,000 रुपए की SIP लार्ज एंड मिड कैप इंडेक्स फंड में कर दो.
ये लार्ज एंड मिड कैप इंडेक्स फंड ये मतलब बेसिकली 250 जो टॉप स्टॉक्स है उनमें इन्वेस्ट करता है, और ये इन्वेस्टर बेसिकली एक म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है जो
इन्वेस्ट करता है. 250 ये एक्टिवली मैनेज्ड फंड भी नहीं है, तो मैं अपना कोई एक्टिवली मैनेज्ड फंड भी नहीं पिच कर रही है. पैसिवली मैनेज्ड फंड है जिसमें फंड हाउस क्या करता है, टॉप 100 कंपनीज में आप 100 रुपए मुझे देते हो, टॉप 100 कंपनीज में 50 रुपए डाल देता है, नेक्स्ट 150 कंपनीज में 50 रुपए डाल देता है. फिनिश्ड. सी बिकॉज इंडिया में अगर इकोनॉमी में ग्रोथ आएगी, स्टॉक मार्केट में ग्रोथ आएगी, आपको थोड़ी रिप्रेजेंटेशन चाहिए सारे सेक्टर्स की, सारी कंपनीज की, वो 250 में कवर हो जाएगी.
ओके,
दैट इज व्हाई आई ऑलवेज सजेस्ट दिस कि अगर आपको साधारण दाल चावल से शुरू करनी है तो आप यहाँ से शुरू करो.
ठीक है, ओके. फिर मॉडरेट पे जाते हैं
तो मॉडरेट इन्वेस्टर को अगर वो यंग है, थोड़ा इक्विटी डेट का स्प्लिट रखना अच्छा रहता है. सो यू कैन डू फ्यू थिंग्स. आप 100 रुपये में से या 10,000 रुपये में से 60 रुपये आप ऐसे इक्विटी फंड में डाल सकते हो, जैसे मैंने आपको मेंशन किया लार्ज एंड मिड कैप, और 40 रुपये किसी बॉन्ड या ऐसी चीज में डाल सकते हो.
So 6,000 इन इक्विटीज, 4,000
समथिंग लाइक. बेटर सोल्यूशन जो कि मुझे ज़्यादा टैक्स एफिशिएंट रखता है, आप एक हाइब्रिड फंड में पैसे डाल दो. हाइब्रिड फंड भी एक म्यूचुअल फंड है, वो हाइब्रिड है, वो लिटरली एक्चुअली दाल एंड चावल का कॉम्बिनेशन है. इट इज़ खिचड़ी पैकेज टुगेदर. आइदर यू कैन ईट दाल एंड राइस सेपरेटली और यू कैन ईट देम इन खिचड़ी विच इज़ अ 1 pot मील. अब हाइब्रिड फंड आमतौर से 60-65% डेट इक्विटी होल्ड करता है, 30 से 35% डेट होल्ड करता है. तो आपको दोनों खिचड़ी में मिल गए. आमतौर से इन द US, सिंस आई लव कुकिंग अगेन आई विल टेल यू, देयर इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट के जब बहुत थके हुए हो एंड यू डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू एंड यू डोंट वांट टू कुक, यू मेक समथिंग कॉल्ड अ 1 pot मील. एक ही उसमें सब बन जाता है और बर्तन कम धोने पड़ते हैं, बिकॉज इन द US वी डोंट हैव एज मच हेल्प. हाइब्रिड फंड इज लाइक अ 1 pot मील. इट इज़ वेरी एफिशिएंट, आपको सारा एक्सपोजर मिल जाता है और आपका टैक्स कम लगता है, क्योंकि आज के टाइम में आप तो CA हो, डेट, FD, ये सब पूरे टैक्स की चीज़ें हैं. इसमें आपको इक्विटी का टैक्स लगता है. सो यू डू अ 9-10,000 रुपी SIP इन अ हाइब्रिड फंड लाइक अ बैलेंस्ड फंड. सिंपल. For many years when I had moved back to India, I used to do SIPs in balanced funds because I wanted to be conservative. मेरी रिस्क प्रोफाइल उस टाइम काफ़ी मॉडरेट थी. अभी मेरी अग्रेसिव हो गई है, सो आई हैव मूव टू मोर अग्रेसिव स्टफ एज आई टोल्ड यू. बट ये पाथ मैंने खुद फॉलो किया.
गॉट इट. एंड अगर कोई एकदम बहुत ही कंजर्वेटिव इन्वेस्टर है तो
बहुत ही कंजर्वेटिव इन्वेस्टर है तो अगेन आप म्यूचुअल फंड के जरिए, और भी हाइब्रिड फंड्स हैं जिसमें सिर्फ 20% इक्विटी का मिश्रण है. तो आई थिंक आज की तारीख में म्यूचुअल फंड प्लेटफॉर्म का ये बहुत अच्छा है कि आप अपनी खुद की थाली डिज़ाइन कर सकते हो. आपको उसमें 100% इक्विटी चाहिए तो वो भी प्रोडक्ट है, आपको उसमें 50% इक्विटी चाहिए तो वो भी प्रोडक्ट है, 20% इक्विटी चाहिए वो भी प्रोडक्ट है. वन ऑफ द मिथ्स अमंग यंग पीपल जो है, जो रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहते कि अरे म्यूचुअल फंड है, शेयर बाजार है, ये तो बहुत रिस्की है. बट रिस्क ना या तो ब्लैक या वाइट नहीं होता है. इट इज़ नॉट कि या तो FD होता है या क्रिप्टो होता है. दुनिया बीच की बहुत बड़ी होती है और अच्छी होती है. आई ऑलवेज से जब आप स्विमिंग करने जाते हो, इट इज़ नॉट कि या तो आप ना स्विमिंग करो या आप बिल्कुल डूब जाओ. आप बेबी पूल से शुरू कर सकते हो, आप शैलो एंड से शुरू कर सकते हो, फिर आप माइग्रेशन कर सकते हो. तो आई वुड रिकमेंड अनदर हाइब्रिड फंड जिसको हम इक्विटी सेविंग्स कहते हैं. उसमें 20% इक्विटी है, 80% वो है.
गॉट इट. एंड पास्ट में इन तीनों में जो आपने बताया फंड्स, तो इनके परसेंटेज वाइज रिटर्न्स ऑन एन एवरेज कितने रहे हैं?
प्योर इक्विटी फंड जैसे लार्ज एंड मिड कैप जो 250 मैंने कहा है, आप 15% प्लस, जिसमें मिड कैप का मिश्रण है तो एक्चुअली क्लोजर टू 17-18 आप देख सकते हैं. बैलेंस्ड फंड में मैंने खुद SIP किए हैं, सो आई हैव सीन रिटर्न्स बिटवीन द 12 to 14% रेंज. इक्विटी सेविंग्स में एज आई सेड मैंने मदर इन लॉ के लिए किया है, तो दैट कुड बी क्लोजर टू 9-10%. और ये सारे बड़े टैक्स एफिशिएंट प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, सारों में 12.5% टैक्स लगेगा. टुडे इफ यू डू एन FD and you are a fully taxable person, even though 6 lakhs is not a fully taxable person, आप टैक्स देते हो.
राइट.
ये सारे बहुत टैक्स एफिशिएंट ऑल्टरनेटिव्स हैं.
राइट, गॉट इट. एंड अगर सपोज आगे जाके लेट्स से, ठीक है 6 lakhs का एग्जांपल दिया, बट देयर आर लाइक पीपल हु आर एट 15-20 lakhs
Yeah.
or 25 lakh सैलरी एंड ऑल, उनको भी अगर इन्वेस्टिंग करना है तो व्हाट वुड यू रिकमेंड दैट ओके कितने म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स होने चाहिए ऑन एन एवरेज, एंड लाइक हाउ शुड दैट प्रपोर्शन बी?
दिस इज अ वेरी फनी क्वेश्चन बिकॉज आजकल ऐसी पोर्टफोलियोज जहाँ 110 म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम होते हैं.
110?
आपने नहीं देखा? आई हैव सीन पोर्टफोलियोज विद 300. तो at that point they are owning more mutual fund schemes than there are stocks in many indices. I don't know what is going on because so that don't do that.
Why do people do that? Diversification, matlab.
There's no diversification. That diversification theory is nonsense. You know, because when you're holding 300 funds, you can't even do the as a CA. Your CA will get upset with you because he doesn't know कि accounting कैसे करनी है. आम तौर से most people would be very happy with 5 to maximum 10 schemes. Maximum 10 schemes. I'm telling you, I told you how to live life with one scheme. You want to add 2 schemes, 3 schemes. The way to do it if you want to do multiple schemes is आप कैटेगरीज चूज कर लो कि भाई मुझे लार्ज कैप कैटेगरी में इन्वेस्ट करना है, मिड कैप में करना है, स्मॉल कैप में करना है और एक कंटिजेंसी फंड करना है. हर कैटेगरी में 2 AMC के स्कीम ले लो. 8 फंड हो गया बस. उससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए? उससे ज़्यादा आपकी ट्रैकिंग ही नहीं हो पाएगी. माई ओन पोर्टफोलियो ऑन एवरेज हैज़ 9 to 10 schemes.
And are you allowed to invest in companies other than your company?
I'm allowed to invest in schemes outside Edelweiss Mutual Fund. Mandatorily मेरी सैलरी का और सारे म्यूचुअल फंड CEOs का 20% पोस्ट टैक्स सैलरी का हैज़ टू गो इनटू स्कीम्स ऑफ Edelweiss म्यूचुअल फंड. रियलिटी इज मेरा नंबर विल बी क्लोजर टू 60-70% इन Edelweiss म्यूचुअल फंड. 30% विल बी आउटसाइड. जो मैंने आपको बताया वो मैं ही करती हूँ. सो आई गो बाय कैटेगरी एंड ऐसे चलो लार्ज कैप में मैं एक Edelweiss का फंड पिक कर लेती हूँ, एक किसी और AMC का जिसका निवेश का तरीका हमसे बहुत अलग है वो मैं चूज कर लेती हूँ. समथिंग लाइक दैट इज व्हाट आई टिपिकली डू. I am allowed to invest in stocks, but with lot of restrictions. So in my life, I have never invested in a stock in my life in US or India.
I just met Ramdev ji today morning, Ramdev Agrawal sir. He mentioned one completely opposite statement. He was like, "Mera pura 100% is in stocks and equity." And I'm meeting you now, and you're saying you've never invested in a stock. So what I'm trying to understand is, like, हर एक के लिए अलग-अलग तरीके होते हैं, and हर एक के लिए अलग-अलग style work कर सकते हैं.
Ramdev ji and he's someone I really respect. Everyone does, and I have done the same thing. We both invested in equity. मेरा भी काफ़ी पोर्टफोलियो. आई वोंट से आई एम 100% equity, but I'm 90. At some point I was 60% equity. Both of our portfolios are heavily loaded on equity. अब वो उनका स्टॉक के जरिए है, मेरा फंड के जरिए है. मेरा प्रोफेशन फंड्स है एंड आई एम ए म्यूचुअल फंड प्रोफेशनल. तो मेरे पे रिस्ट्रिक्शंस बहुत हैं बिकॉज इफ माई फंड इज होल्डिंग अ पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक XYZ, आई कांट बाय द स्टॉक बिफोर माई फंड इन्वेस्ट. आई हैव रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑन सेलिंग द स्टॉक्स और आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. तो मेरा ये जरिया है एंड आई जेन्युइनली थिंक कि इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए आपको अंत वही है. मुझे और उनको फाइनली यहाँ से यहाँ जाना है. उन्होंने स्टॉक्स का रूट लिया, मैंने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का रूट लिया.
Right.
लेकिन both of us are very bullish on the India equity story. That doesn't change.
Yeah, he was saying the same thing. Like वो बता रहे थे कैसे last 40 years में Sensex had, like he started investing when Sensex was 100. And
Oh God.
So basically starting से, and it has grown like 800x in the last 40 years and all. So he's saying कि आराम से like 1.5 लाख तो क्यों नहीं जाएगा अगले 2 decades में.
जाएगा. And I was looking at some data of US market. जब US economy 2 ट्रिलियन से 5 ट्रिलियन का सफ़र कर रही थी, आई थिंक करीब उसे 10-11 साल लगे ये करने में. डाउ जोन्स इंडेक्स 15 गुना बढ़ी थी.
Wow.
ऐसे ही जब जापान में इकोनॉमी 2 से 5 ट्रिलियन गई, उसको भी 8-10 साल लगे. आई थिंक टोक्यो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज भी ऐसे ही 18-19 टाइम्स बढ़ी. तो these are all numbers. I think कंसेंसस हम सबका मानना है फॉर मेनी डिफरेंट रीजंस कि अगले आने वाले 10-20 साल तो हिंदुस्तान के लिए बहुत गोल्डन साल हैं. वी आर अ वेरी फॉर्चुनेट जनरेशन.
Yep, I agree. He was also saying this is the best once in a lifetime opportunity for investing in India.
Yeah.
कुछ भी नहीं अगर तुमको पता है ना, like just invest in India, which is like Nifty or Sensex, and you.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. My 250 point was just an investment in India. और कुछ मत करो.
Correct. Yeah.
So I always tell people जो मेरे से stock tip पूछते हैं, the stock tip for the decade is buy India. India is a great stock.
Yeah, that's the best stock to get the maximum returns.
And then you can say I have this presentation where I do an evaluation. अगर आपको इंडिया को एक स्टॉक की तरह देखना है, अगर आपको इंडिया की बैलेंस शीट देखनी है, अगर आपको मोमेंटम देखना है, अर्निंग्स ग्रोथ देखनी है, ऑन ऑल मेट्रिक्स जो फंडामेंटल एनालिस्ट यूज करते हैं और टेक्निकल यूज करते हैं टू एनालाइज अ स्टॉक, इंडिया लुक्स वेरी गुड एज अ स्टॉक.
Yep, that's a very good statement as well. Let's talk about your Edelweiss journey as well.
Yeah.
You became like one of the youngest CEOs, and out of all the mutual fund houses CEOs, I think you're the only women CEOs in the industry.
Yeah, not something I'm happy about, but yes.
Yeah, so how do you think, like, what needs to change here? That is one. And secondly, like, what do you think worked well in your favor that made you like the kind of person you are today?
I would say that the institution I belong to, Edelweiss, is a place generally जहाँ लोगों को CEO रोल्स यंग एज पे दिए जाते हैं, which is not true of many Indian financial services institutions. Generally जब आप financial services की बात करते हैं, people assume grey hair, XYZ. Edelweiss has been very good in appointing a lot of young CEOs, and there are multiple other women CEOs in that business. So perhaps that worked. So and I just hope more companies take chances with people. Reality is that is the answer, right? When I was 33 and 17, when I became CEO, I was a completely untested candidate. Forget young and gender and all of that. That matters less. I never worked in the IMF industry. I was an untested CEO. I had spent only 3-4 years in India as an entrepreneur. But someone took a bet on me. I think we have to take bets on people. हमने अपनी कंपनी में एडलवाइस म्यूचुअल फंड में भी यही कोशिश की है कि हम अनकन्वेंशनल लोगों पे बेट लेने की कोशिश करें. इन सम सेंस फॉर मी आई फील इट इज़ अ वे ऑफ पेइंग इट फॉरवर्ड. तो that needs to change. You need to, I think the startup ecosystem does a fantastic job taking bets on unconventional people. Corporate India and financial services needs to do that.
And like the journey from 6,000 to 1.4 lakh crore. So what were like some of your learnings, or what were some of your mistakes that you think?
Oh God, I keep
change?
learning about this journey. I think my fundamental central point is customer is supreme. If you build a product that delivers value for the investor, and you communicate that value properly, आपको scale आएगा, आपको कामयाबी आएगी, especially in today's digital era. You can't market a terrible product, but if you have a good product, it will find ground, and if you know how to market, then even better. This is my core learning. Secondly, as much as I keep talking about dal chawal investing, I think fund management is also a very dal chawal business. It is a simple business. The words are asset management company. You have to have assets, so you need to keep investing in your customers and distributors. You have to manage money well, you have to manage it responsibly. And you are a company, so you have to do it in a cost efficient way. मुझे तो लगता है ये asset management company जो हमारा title है, इसी में हमारा पूरा purpose embedded है. I also believe कि what I have learned in the last 6-7 years is कि customers का दिमाग खुल रहा है. Like we always say, I've always heard film industry say, oh, audience will not accept this, audience will not digest this new concept. I've heard people say that in MF industry. We have been at the forefront of so many innovative products, Edelweiss Mutual Fund, चाहे वो target maturity funds थे, international funds थे. We were one of the first ones with the US tech funds, lot of passive funds बहुत नया काम किया है, momentum लाए market में. People are ready to accept as long as you know how to tell the story. So my learning is customer is at the heart and soul. It's a very simple business. You keep doing the business without getting bored. And the last thing is this business, you see the journey from 6,000 to 1.4 lakh. I also see the journey from very unprofitable to meaningfully profitable, which to me is a very exciting journey as well, right? The business is about playing the long game. आज अगर आप एक नई AMC शुरू करो इंडिया में, and so many new ones are opening, it takes 7-8 years to just break even.
My God.
Not many people know this. It's a long term.
क्यों इतना 7-8 साल क्यों लगता है?
Because the infrastructure required, the people required, the cost of compliance, unless you are very lucky, and you have some bazooka run, which people don't have. 7-8 साल से पहले होता ही नहीं है break even. We are probably one of the first. We've effectively been on a growth journey for 6-7 years. We are one of the fastest to become as profitable as we've become in such a short period of time. It's a hard business. It's a one-time cost. Asset management business, mutual fund business is like a factory. You keep building capacity. And then you have to make sure that the utilization is higher and higher, and that's when profitability will kick in. Even today at my size, I've put in all the parts, but my utilization is not 80-90%.
Can you explain the unit economics for an asset management company? तो कैसे क्या major costs है, revenues कैसे
Our
आते हैं?
revenue is very simple. You give us 100 rupees to manage. We charge a fee. Okay. The fee is called a management fee. And that fee on equity can range between 1 to 2% depending on active fund, passive fund. उसमें से आपकी distribution cost निकलती है. If you are, selling via distribution network, you have a distribution cost. If you are selling directly, you don't. बचती कुछ आपकी net management fee है. It could be 0.4%, it could be 0.5%, it could be 0.6%. So if you give me 100 rupees, typically मेरा 0.4, 0.5, 0.6% बचता है. So something like 4-5 paise. You realize the margin is very thin. After this, I don't have any variable cost. I only have fixed cost. I have my major cost. My largest bill is salary cost. Fund manager, sales people, compliance people, technology people. I have a long chitta of this. Then I will have some basic infrastructure cost, office costs, and I will have sales and marketing and brand and whatever I want to spend on doing that. These are my major cost buckets. So these are all fixed costs. So you realize a very large chunk of our costs are fixed.
Yeah.
And at some point, you cover your fixed cost and the hockey stick starts. Every marginal cost is actually nothing. After distribution, there is no marginal cost. So it's all profit. And that is where the magic of asset management companies P&L happens. वो बहुत टाइम तक कुछ नहीं करता, लेकिन उसका 30-40 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट हो जाता है. वो 2-3 साल बाद 200 हो जाता है, 1000 हो जाता है. इट्स वेरी सिंपल.
सो आपने बताया कि मेन अब 100 में से like 1 or 2% इज लाइक द रेवेन्यू. सो 2 रुपए का रेवेन्यू हो गया, मान के चलते हैं
1.5% का रेवेन्यू.
हाँ, 1.5 का. एंड देन उसके बाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए वो कॉस्ट है. सो बेसिकली म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स है इंडस्ट्री में, जिनके थ्रू लोग आपके म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसा डालते हैं, एंड यू हैव टू गिव देम सर्टेन परसेंटेज कमीशन. दैट इज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स.
दैट्स द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन.
वो कितने परसेंटेज आपने बताया?
It depends, right? So if your headline revenue is 1.5%, maybe distribution cost could be 1%, maybe it could be 0.9.
Achha.
Different people will have different numbers, but at least 50% of your cost
समझ गया.
will be distribution.
तो 1.5 माइनस फिर 0.75 वगैरह,
तो 0.75 आपका मार्जिन हो जाएगा.
ओके. एंड देन इसके बाद
उसके बाद सारे fixed cost
जो
आने
फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट हो गए वो हो गया. हाँ, ओके, गॉट इट.
So you realize that as long as your net margin, net of distribution is positive, which you have to of course control. So after that, everything is variable cost. After that, everything is fixed cost.
हाँ.
So once you cover your fixed
Correct.
cost, and to manage 10,000 crores of assets, if I need 5 fund managers, to manage 20,000 crores, I don't need 10 fund managers now.
हाँ.
To manage, in fact, in probably 5 fund managers, I can manage 50,000 crores. If I want to manage 100,000, then maybe I'll need to add 1 or 2 fund managers.
Yeah.
But fixed costs don't rise very fast.
And what would be the average salary ranges of fund managers?
Very vast. It depends, because we hire people all the way from young analysts to CIOs. So it could start at 20 odd lakhs as a young analyst and go into crores as a CIO. So,
but 20 lakhs for a like analyst, as in like from a top tier institute.
I mean, actually we don't look at tiers. Okay. Honestly, when we hire, we don't look at कि हमें IIM से चाहिए, ऐसा चाहिए. I think I was telling the CA guys, I think CAs make great analysts. So it's finally about the caliber of the individual. We don't have this tiering thing, and जो आपका ये चलता है. I mean, I am not too much of an. We look at the person.
And any mistakes that you recall from your journey which you think you should have avoided?
This is a long list.
एक दो तीन जो आपको याद आ रही कोई भी?
I think personal finance, though I told you about 2008, but I generally think most mistakes that I have made have been from lack of conviction. So, and in the early days of your career, at least I had a lot of confidence issues. So I would know something is wrong or not going to work, but people would tell me, nahi, kar le. And I'd kind of give in earlier than I should have. So my learning has been, and it's not so easy to stand by your own conviction. जो अपने को instinctively लगता है, if you believe in it, then do it and have the courage to stand your ground. And this is much harder to do when you're young. Now I can stand my ground on a lot of things. But the other thing I have learned in many mistakes, because ours is a people business, have been about not unclear communication with people. And I always now tell people, if there is an elephant in the room, na, let us talk to the elephant, handle the elephant and send it out of the room. Because मेरे और आपके इग्नोर करने से वो एलिफेंट जाएगा नहीं. तो अगर कुछ बात है, this email bazi na, that I will send an email to you, you will send it to me, you will mark to other people, this happens in corporate world. This doesn't do anything. It creates politics. So solve problems, have direct conversations. Most problems happen when you don't have direct conversations.
Yeah, I resonate to this because when I was, I was quitting my job, right? So I was very hesitant ki kaise bolu, kya bolu, and like through just emails and all, I just said that. And then when I was having a direct conversation, it just was like, हाँ चलो खत्म हो गया and all.
सामने में बात करने से बात बनती है, and a lot of people are genuinely very scared to talk. So it's important to talk.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think that households में like जो women है, right, they are not given a lot of exposure when it comes to finances, और वो जो conversations होते हैं वो उनके साथ नहीं किए जाते? Do you think that is happening?
Look, the data says that women are not as involved as they should be. But I don't know if it's because they're not given the exposure. I don't want to criminalize men here. I think the answer kahin beech ka hai. I think a lot of women very easily say कि भाई ये नहीं करना है, ये बहुत टेक्निकल है, मुझे नहीं सीखना, कोई और कर लेता है. Part of this issue. The other part of the issue is in some households, yes, women ask. I've done so many IIPs with women. When women will ask the husband कि भाई मुझे बताओ, and they don't want to tell. So मैं लोगों को कहती हूँ इसका जो समाधान solution है ये बीच का है. Men have to involve women more and women have to show the will to get involved. ये दोनों चीजें होनी पड़ेगी अगर आपको इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना है, और करना चाहिए क्योंकि फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग फैमिली की होती है और फैमिली में आदमी और औरत दोनों ही हिस्सेदार हैं, भागीदार हैं.
Right. For you it would have been easier because you came from a finance background.
I came from finance background. My husband came from a finance background. We sit and do quarterly portfolio review. हम तो crazy हैं. हम अपना document बनाते हैं as a family of our investment policy, funds we will not do, things we agree on, things we don't disagree on. तो we are तो crazy. We document everything and we sit and do a review.
Oh, wow. Can you, like, if you don't mind me asking, कुछ examples दे सकते हो? Things we agree on या things we don't agree on?
So things we agree on or things we don't agree on is the kind of AMCs we don't want to invest in. Like we invest in external AMCs, the kind of schemes that we will not do. Like both of us don't do too many thematic kind of funds. These are the things. Things we agree on. We will have X portion of our wealth in liquid assets versus illiquid assets. These are things that we tend to agree on. So we have all these discussions.
Wow.
You know, ESOP will be this percentage of our wealth. These are things we write it down so that we don't fight later when things go wrong.
Sorry, go ahead.
I highly encourage everyone to do this.
Yeah, that's a good strategy actually.
लिख लो ना. And we write targeted asset allocation. हमने ये, if we are saying we want to move from 50% to 75% equity, हम ऐसा क्यों सोच रहे हैं? अगर हम home loan लेना चाहते हैं, what is the size of the home loan we are comfortable with? हम ऐसी चीजें लिखते हैं. All our thinking and conversation we like to write down.
Yeah, that's a very good strategy. Documentation बोलते CA language में इसको.
Generally, it's good for the household sanity.
What proportion of your like asset allocation would be in startups, illiquid investments because of Shark Tank India?
Well, it was zero before Shark Tank India. I don't know how to measure it because of market value and this, but 10-12% से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा because it's recent. I had put this out on Twitter and I'm happy to share it again. I committed to 6 deals on the tank. 3 are done, funded a while ago. 1, the entrepreneur said no. 2 are still in diligence, of which I'm sure 1 will be done. So at least 4 out of 6 hit rate. I think two the entrepreneurs have declined.
Oh, okay. And like average ticket size, you invest around.
I think most of the deals were in the 40-50 lakh vicinity.
Got it.
Some were 30-20 lakh, something like that, but most were in the 40-50 lakh vicinity, something like that.
Got it.
So yeah, 3 companies, as I said, I probably will have the highest completion rate because there's so much noise around. होती हैं deals, नहीं होती,
Yeah.
सारी हो गई हैं.
There was an article in Economic Times which mentioned that 60% of the Shark Tank deals do not happen after the show is over. So ऐसा भी एक article आया था.
Which is one of the reasons I put out my data because
Yeah.
I promised myself show के पहले that हम capital market से आते हैं and हमारे लिए trust, credibility, transparency इन चीज़ों के बहुत मायने हैं.
Yeah.
And when we promise things, my approach also on television was when we promise things to an entrepreneur, हम पूरे से पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि हम वो डील फुलफिल कर पाएँ और जल्दी से जल्दी फुलफिल कर पाएँ, एंटरप्रेन्योर को बिना परेशान किए हुए फुलफिल कर पाएँ. इनफैक्ट 2 of the deals closed before the show airing was done.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 2
wow.
ads and Diva Sarees closed before the season ended. Yeah. And so that's why I think transparency is very important in the process. And if you have chosen not to do a deal, you can also say why without embarrassing the entrepreneur. But it is important because the public looks at Shark Tank with a lot of almost idolization. I've realized as I travel, कि आप वहाँ बैठे हो, wow, you have to be honest to that, no?
Yeah, I remember. I don't think if I should say this to you, but I had seen you once at Mumbai airport, and you were surrounded by 5-6 people, and that time Shark Tank India was going on, and I was like, "ठीक है, now she's crowded, so I wouldn't be able to approach." But yeah, I could see that
airports are an activity.
Yeah.
Airports are it's all pleasant. But as I said, people, I have had security guards at Mumbai airport come to me and say, "Can I do a pitch in front of you?"
Oh.
I've had air hostesses on flights come to me and say, "Can I discuss a business? Should I leave this and start something?" So I've had kids, all kinds of stuff. So people really look up to people sitting in the seat of that shark or judge.
Yeah. Which was your favorite startup in Shark Tank India? And
This is mean to say, but so I like what the Two Hands guys are doing. I really think, and I've been quite vocal. I don't know if you followed the deal, but essentially, अगर आप देखो तो किरानों की दुकान में they don't have a formal MIS system, right? You are a CA, afford नहीं कर सकते, जगह नहीं है. फ़ोन उनका आमतौर से चार्ज पे लगा रहता है अगर आप किसी भी दुकान में जाओ. लेकिन हर किराने की दुकान में एक चीज़ यूज़ होती है, वो है कैलकुलेटर, है ना? So there is a company called Two Hands. It's run by this Praveen Mishra and a bunch of other kids. They're from UP, very young, 22, 23.
Oh, wow.
They have created an MIS in the calculator. It's a smart calculator that integrates point of sale. And the reason I love it is, one, the kid's background. I think, he spent so much time working with merchants to understand कि customer की problem क्या है. दूसरा, it's a Indian solution to an Indian problem. I keep saying this is one of my frustrations with businesses on Shark Tank, because some of these are solutions looking for problems, and India finally, you don't need the 900th healthy food company, right? You don't need the 200th cute cream company that is nice for your skin. You need to solve problems. I feel Two Hands is attempting to solve a problem. It is difficult because he's trying to set up a business that relies on manufacturing in India. This is Make in India, and it is hard. It's not the easy D2C answer that, I contract manufacture something, I sell it online. It's not easy. His journey is not easy. But if he is able to do something with it, the mushkil journey hai, lekin interesting.
But that's an interesting problem to solve for.
Yes.
काफी like grocery stores and like किराना वाले दुकान में, they want this MIS and all.
Yeah, it's a very good problem to solve for. It's a big problem to solve. It's an Indian problem.
ये सारे MSMEs को target करेंगे.
सारे MSMEs छोटे किराने वाले. Actually, अभी भी he's now got version 4 out. He's manufacturing. He has a backlog of orders. So his problem right now is actually fulfillment. But I think he's going to do a very good job.
Yeah.
When that deal aired on TV, many VCs, many people called me, many large players in this space saying, if he ever wants to sell, if he wants to do something, we're interested. And I said, no, it's too early.
Achha.
But I've been very vocal about him.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Last two questions. So again, these are like tricky questions. One is, if you if someone gives you $1 million today, where would you invest or what would you do?
Why would someone give me $1 million?
Okay, or let's say if you have $1 million right now, liquid cash, cash as in like in your bank account, what would you do? Where would you invest?
Right now, given that a lot of my investments are taken care of, I'd probably fish around for some cute startups in the financial services space. I've taken a liking to doing startup investing, and of course, closer to home, financial services.
Yeah.
So right now, I'd be hunting for some interesting startup deals with that money.
Got it. So this transition has happened after Shark Tank India, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things. Okay. It's after a certain level of financial comfort that happened over the last few years. Home loans paid, all of that. So a certain amount of what you call fire, freedom, security, etc. Plus some fun on Shark Tank India. Plus a lot of people approaching me for deals. So I think a mix of things. It's a part of growing up. Right. And I have time now. I think 15 years ago, I had nothing to contribute to a startup entrepreneur's life. Now I see with the Shark Tank company कि शायद मैं इनके साथ कुछ कर सकती हूँ, like with two hands. Or there's a company we funded called Canvaloupe that is making textile with hemp leather and banana leaf. So I told them, ये आपका textile is very good for sarees. Making introduction. So there are things that we can. So perhaps I can add some value. I enjoy doing that.
Got it.
Paying it forward.
And entrepreneurship काफी boom हो गया है ना, especially after this, I see a lot of people taking a plunge into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's totally buzzing. Yeah. And I think at this stage of life, and I don't want to sound very old, it's fun to be part of some of these journeys.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting to watch the journey of Canvaloupe or Two Hands or Diva Sarees or any of my companies.
And I also see a lot of young entrepreneurs coming up, like 20, 21 years old fresh graduates from college. Although there's a study which says that if you start up after 35, your chances of becoming a successful entrepreneur are higher versus if you start when you are young. I disagree with this, but this is a proven study. But I see the trend which is changing in India.
I think if I had to start up again today, and I think of Edelweiss Mutual Fund as my second startup because at 6,000 crores you are nothing. I think the second stint is better than the first because you have 35, 40 is like a very nice sweet spot. आप में इतना experience होता है कि आपको कुछ समझ है, humility है, गलतियाँ की हैं, ठोकरे खाए हैं, लेकिन आप energy abhi bhi aap mein kafi hai. So I think it's a beautiful point. It's a great point to hire people also. People in their mid 30s or early 40s are great. They just are at the peak of talent.
I think even let's say
it's not that 20-year-olds aren't.
I mean, I usually feel, so for example, my team, so social media team, it's a 9-member team, and the startup team, it's a 6-member team. Total mila ke 15 hai. Of course, it's not very big as such, but I have always experienced this, that whenever I hire an intern or maybe whenever I hire a second year, third year student versus if I hire someone experienced and all, inka jo hunger hota hai to learn, or inka jo, I don't know, I mean the passion, energy, without any statistical backing, I feel that इनका काफी ज़्यादा hunger हमेशा रहा है.
होगा. It's, and different roles, like even when we hire in marketing or social media, we want to hire people with that. But for instance, in the investment business, a certain amount of experience, or in the product business, a certain amount of experience seeing markets, seeing cycles, like you talked about Ramdev ji, a certain amount of that maturity and experience, उससे आदमी थोड़ा चाकू की तरह शार्प हो जाता है.
Correct, fair.
So that's also, and I think different ages and profiles for different roles. I mean, we have people from 20 to 60 in the company.
Yeah, you're right. जैसे अभी influencer marketing industry है, like that's a very young industry. All the people would be 23, 24. The average age, even founders are 26, 27 and all. Correct.
But you look at the investment industry, and I'm a little bit of experience, again with banking, little bit of experience helps.
Right, fair. And last one, if you were in the shoes of Kushal Lodha and if you were interviewing Miss Radhika Gupta, what is one question you would like to ask her towards the end of the interview?
Oh, something you haven't asked me.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me what stresses me about money today.
Oh, that's a good one. So, ma'am, what stresses you about money?
I didn't know you were going to ask. It stresses me about money. Because I think it's the reason I said you should ask that question is many of the guests who've come on your show have made a lot of money in life or have done well. And so
including yourself.
we've made, I am not denying that I'm fortunate. So at that point, is there anything that worries you about money is, I think, a good question. Like, it's a great question to ask Ramdevji or anyone.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's a question. I guess I'll tell you what stresses me about money. It's more philosophical. It is that having had and acquired some wealth, now as a mother, raising my child up in a background of much more privilege than I grew up in, it kind of stresses me because I wonder how to inculcate the same hunger I had and that my father had. That's one of the things that stresses me about money.
Yeah.
It's a definite.
That's
I think
a
about
great
it a
answer.
lot.
That's a great answer. Actually, it's like you also want them to not feel like as if they are coming from a very privileged background, but at the same time, you want them to hustle and like find out their own ways, figure out what they want to do and all at the
I
same
guess
time.
the second one is personally, I would say, I want to be able to know when is enough for me, because in financial services, we are a very highly paid industry, but there's tremendous amounts of greed. And there is no limit to greed. And you have to find the balance between doing well and being able to enjoy that doing well. And like, I want to live rich. I don't want to die rich. I don't want to be stressed. I want to live rich. I want to enjoy what I earn. And I don't want to be caught in a trap of greed. So that's a constant reminder. Because in my industry, it is very easy to do that. So that's one of the things that I keep telling myself. Because it's very easy. Not enough. There must be some enough now. So having a sense of enough is important.
So like, I also asked this question. How much money is like too much money for you?
Honestly, I think anything more than 40-50 crores के बाद you have crossed the line of fire जो तुम लोग कहते हो, young people.
तुम लोग.
You young people, you say fire, I don't understand fire. So I don't know if there is a number. But I think after that, you've actually crossed that line of fire. And lifestyle expands and contracts depending on how much money you have. I think after that, you've crossed that line of fire.
Right.
And
वो है ना financial independent retire early number. So क्या monthly expenses multiply that by annual expenses multiply that by 25.
I think
that is the fire number. ऐसे बोला जाता है.
अच्छा, monthly expenses multiplied by
नहीं, annual expenses multiply by 25. This is your fire number. इतना पैसा तुम्हारे पास हुआ तो you can retire right now.
I don't think anyone's annual expenses एक दो का, unless you're planning to buy yachts every year, 1-2 crore से ज़्यादा, I mean 30-40 crore के बाद most people have kind of achieved some fire in life.
Right.
And at that point, I'm telling you, like in my 30s, I used to enjoy buying diamonds. To be frank, I don't enjoy buying diamonds anymore. I'm like beyond that. I'd rather find some cool startup to deal with.
Right. Well, thank you so much, ma'am, for doing this. It was amazing talking to you. And
Thank you.
We've learned a lot from you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, perfect. Thanks. आई होप आपको वैल्यू मिली होगी ये वीडियो से. अगर आपको थोड़ी सी भी वैल्यू मिली होगी तो आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू शेयर दिस वीडियो विद एटलीस्ट वन फ्रेंड यू नो, सो दैट दे ऑल्सो कैन गेट अ लॉट ऑफ इनसाइट्स फ्रॉम दिस. एंड प्लीज लेट अस नो कि आपको कौन से पार्ट सबसे ज्यादा पसंद आए, आपको कौन से पार्ट बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आए, एंड आपको कौन से टाइप के गेस्ट चाहिए, एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू वांट अस टू आस्क ऑल दीज गेस्ट, सो दैट वी गिव यू द मोस्ट पॉसिबल वैल्यू इन द शॉर्टेस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो. डू लेट अस नो इन द कॉमेंट सेक्शन अबाउट द फीडबैक फॉर द सेम, एंड स्टे ट्यून्ड फॉर मोर एपिसोड्स ऑफ कॉन्वर्सेशन विद कुशल.